Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside Huntington Bank Stadium. It is halftime, and I have to once again apologize for our streaming issues. It's been a hiccup of a day. I understand that there have been about 5 different streaming videos that have had to pop up. So for the few listeners that we may have had, I apologize profusely. Now, to the football. Minnesota holds a 10-3 lead against Buffalo here. So far, the story of the game has really been revolving, for me at least, around Drake Lindsey and Darius Taylor. Taylor with 70 yards rushing on 12 carries. Originally in the first quarter, I had thought they would be switching between him and A.J. Turner. That has not been the case in the second quarter as they've been going back to their number one guy. He's been their number one guy since he got here as a freshman, Darius Taylor. Really, Drake Lindsey, redshirt freshman. For what has been presented to him, he has played, in my opinion, very, very, very good football for someone who is in his first start as such a young quarterback. I don't even believe he's 20 yet. 11 for 21, 133 yards, a touchdown. But he has been sacked twice, and he has 10 incompletions. But he has a rating of 111.8.
Well, and really, I'd only blame the second sack on Lindsey because he held onto the ball too long. The first sack was just because the offensive line got exploded.
And of course, that interception is on there, which brings his rating down quite a bit. I don't think anyone can really blame him. Go back to that play. I just don't think I can describe it, even how it happened on this screen. You have to just see a video of it. Jamison Gears going out on the outside, backing up, can't see, falls over on his back, but as he does so, his leg kicks up, and that's when the ball got there. Ball shoots up right to the Buffalo player. He goes 60 yards down the field before Darius Taylor can catch him. Luckily he did. That's why Buffalo only has 3 points instead of 7.
Well, and it's too bad because Jamison before that had really been kicking things, quite literally, pun intended, into gear.
Glad you brought Jamison Gears up. The next guy I was going to talk about. Jamison Gears has been absolutely fantastic. He's been targeted 6 times by Lindsey. A favorite target, 4 catches for 38 yards, and of course, the 1 touchdown catch, which looked quite fantastic as he leapt up over the defender, was able to hold on through some contact. Gophers have a 7-point lead because of it.
Oh yeah, Gears has been a real great security blanket over the middle of the field for Lindsey tonight. For a young quarterback, you really need to have very good weapons that you can rely on to throw over the middle of the field because that's such an important aspect of being college and, of course, hopefully one day future NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I've seen from Lindsey. He looks more comfortable on those passes up the middle than he does on the ones to the outside. As you saw at the end of the first half there, he had a very dangerous throw off to the left sideline intended for, I think it was Jalen Smith. Yeah, Philip, this is your first broadcast, your first halftime show. What do you think the Gophers can do better in this second half upcoming? What are your keys to the second half?
Well, in the second half, I want to see some more efficiency with throwing the ball down the field. We saw a little bit of that towards the end of the second half. We saw P.J. Fleck drawing up some plays for Lindsey to throw down the middle of the field, but I'd like to see him throw deep down the field, more toward the sideline, just to not only just to see how Lindsey does on those particular throws, but also just to throw the Buffalo defense off balance because they're keying in on the plays that we've repeated to, play throughout the first half, and that's starting to hold our offense back. So I'd say a little more offensive efficiency and continuity and some just different plays being called, I'd say.
And Philip, on that note, I know Buffalo only has 3 points, but toward the end of that half, getting a lot of scramble plays from Roberson on the offense. What are the keys to Gopher defense here?
I'd say keep a spy on Roberson and have the defensive interiors always be ready for the running back to come up the middle. So really just stuffing the run for Buffalo is key, because towards the end of the second half there, they were really turning on the run, and that was setting things up well for their pass game. So if we can shut down their run game in the second half here, and I do believe we can, then we should be able to pretty much shut down Buffalo's entire offensive identity.
Yeah, and one thing I would note here is that Buffalo inserted their backup running back, Terrence Shelton Jr., the kid sophomore from Franklin, Wisconsin, my neck of the woods. He really just he only had one really good run. 2 runs for 16 yards, the one 15-yard run. But just throwing something different and having those 3 guys back to run, as well as having those quick screen options, is just something that really just looking for yards after the catch. Yards after the catch and yards after contact is really what Buffalo wants to try and throw this Gopher defense off, because they know that they're not going to beat a Big Ten team, especially not one with these very good safeties like Minnesota on those deep passes.
Well, and as a defensive unit, our defensive line needs to be ready for those screens, especially in the second quarter there. You could tell Buffalo was starting to open up their screen game quite a bit.
All right, here at Huntington Bank Stadium, we are getting ready for the second half. In the third quarter, Minnesota won the toss and deferred in the first half, so they will get the ball to start the second half. How's the kicker for Buffalo? Lloyd Parrish back deep for the Gophers. How's is sent to kick, and it's up and away. A short squibbler in the direction of Jamison Gear. Still catching about the 22. Hold on to it nicely, right up to the 30-yard line.
It's just as good if he had knelt it down in the end zone.
Gophers start at the 30 for their first drive of the second half. We'll be back after a quick break. You're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Huntington Bank Stadium as Drake Lindsey takes his first snap of the second half. Beautiful pass to Javon Tracy. The 50-yard line, spinning, and finally breaking free.
Oh my God.
The 40-yard line. One heck of an effort from the transfer from Miami, Ohio. Man, they had the timer up. I was convinced that we were going to have a full media timeout, but I'm glad we cut back. Javon Tracy.
What a play by Tracy, as he was just spinning in and out of about 3 or 4 to 5 tackles there. He just refused to go down.
I think he made 6 different guys miss there.
My goodness.
Going through a spin cycle looking like a washing machine as Drake Lindsey completes yet again. That's going to be Loya. Right near another first down, and the Gophers have marched down about 50 yards just like that with the snap of your fingers.
Well, and this is what I was saying during the halftime break. I wanted to see our offense throw the ball down more the field.
That was a 31-yard gain on the catch by Tracy. He now has 3 catches for 73 yards. A very impressive debut from the transfer. Lindsey back under center after 2 in the shotgun. Taylor back as the back. He'll get the ball, trying to bounce right, met right there by 2 Buffalo Bulls. Very good tackle by number 2, Ed Murdoch. He's really had Darius Taylor's number most of this evening.
Well, they had extra rushers on that side of the offensive line, so they had that play pretty well stopped there, unfortunately, for the Gophers.
Well, from a defensive perspective, you've got to be able to stack the box against the run, no matter who you're playing from this conference. Lindsey under center again. Taylor in the backfield. We got motion across by Lemeki Brockington. It's going to be a screen pass to Darius Taylor. He's going to find some open air. Able to get just past that first down marker at the 15, down to the 14, and out of bounds. They'll spot him just right about there. That's another Golden Gopher first down. Just over 2 minutes into this half. The Gophers are rolling.
Well, that looked like an ordinary screen at first, but Darius Taylor's speed is what allowed that to be such a good gain for the Gophers on that play.
Lindsey so far this half is perfect. 3 for 3 with 57 passing yards. Very impressive from the redshirt freshman. PJ Turner now the back end. Once again under center is Lindsey. 2 receivers left, 1 right. It's going to be a handoff to Turner. Makes one guy miss, and it'll be about a 4-yard gain, 3-yard gain, up to about the 10. Gophers in the red zone here. Philip, what play do you want to see from PJ Fleck?
Well, I'm sure PJ Fleck, of course, loves to run the football, but I'd like to see a back corner throw over the shoulder to one of the wide receivers or an over the middle throw to one of the tight ends here in the end zone.
Got one tight end in the backfield. He's going to go off for the route. Lindsey looking right, going left. He'll take that check down. It's incomplete. He wanted Frank Bierman. Quite an impact here early. They've been running that stack of 3, that I formation, with him in the middle, Taylor in the back. Hasn't worked out too much for a lot of gain. He's been a very good blocker on those effective ones to the outside thus far. Can't haul in that catch off to the left.
Well, even if he did, I don't think he would have gone very far. There was a defender right on his back.
Gophers go with the 3rd string running back. That's going to be Cam Davis, graduate student from Washington. Transfer. Lindsey out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He wants the throw to the end zone, and it's just too high. Intended receiver was Jalen Smith. Had him open right between 3 defenders, and it's going to be 4th and 7 for the Gophers. We'll have to send out the field goal unit. That was the play that really you'd like to see Lindsey stay composed. He's so well composed through the entirety of that drive. Once again, the Gophers have it stall out in the red zone.
I think Lindsey just put a little too much English on that ball, and it ended up sailing over the receiver's head, and, well, now we'll see what our kicker can do.
Brady Denneberg, up and through. Right down the middle, about 30 yards away. And the Gophers take a 10-point lead here early in the second half. 11:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. Minnesota 13, Buffalo 3. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Huntington Bank Stadium as the Gophers start the third quarter with a strong, promising drive, ending in a 29-yard field goal. 8 plays, 59 yards, just over 3 minutes through 18. Kickoff is up, out of the back of the end zone. Good catch. I believe that was by my buddy there, who operates the net behind the field goal. Brady Denneber, a good kick out the back of the end zone, and the Gopher defense will have another opportunity to stop that Buffalo offense.
You know, on this first drive for Buffalo, I'd really like to see the Gophers defense get a takeaway here. I think that would really spark something with our offense. Even though our offense just got a field goal on its previous drive, I think that would really give them some confidence.
No takeaways yet for the Gopher defense. Very well played so far. Quick pass to the outside. It's gonna be number 8, Josiah Gathings with the catch. Joey Gerlach on the tackle. Carlson student. Having in one of my classes last year.
Really?
Very good guy. Very good tackle. Linebacker getting some playing time this year. In at linebacker after the absence of Cole Lindenberg. Roberson takes the snap, hand off to Henderson. Dog piles his way on 2nd and 3. It looks like they're going to get the first down. Swarm of Gophers on the tackle. Buffalo starts off with the first down of the half.
Yeah, that play almost looked like rugby there. There was such a big pile of bodies there, you didn't know where the ball was.
It's Buffalo's 5th first down of the day, on contrary to the Gophers now 16 first downs. Roberson back with a runner to his left and right. He'll elect to throw. Quick throw yet again to the outside. It's caught again by Gathings. Shoved out of bounds by number 7, Aiden Gowsby. Very good play by him. 2nd and 1. It's just those quick little short passes to the outside that Roberson is so good at.
Well, early in the game, they tried to do some more long developed plays, and that wasn't working, so now they've switched to a quick offense, and that's kept our defensive linemen back on their heels, so they can't rush the passer as efficiently as before.
Taking those little chip plays as they do another one. Humongous hit by the Iowa transfer, John Nestor. And then they're getting physical with Gathings. That was 4th catch in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Always love to see the physicality from our defensive line.
Buffalo still moving down the field. Yet another moving of the chains. Their 2nd one so far of the drive. Handoff to Henderson up the middle. Looks like he's going to get about 4 yards there. Stopped inside by Devin Eastern and Maverick Baranowski. There's just one thing that we can say with this Buffalo offense is just they're not doing anything to really hurt you in one play. They're doing a lot of small things to hurt you in one big one.
No, they're having all these long drives. It's making our defense tired, and it's burning clock. And so far, it's working.
Motion. It's going to be a screen pass. Very well done again, just for another chip play of about 8 or 9 yards. Isaiah Burks, the running back, running across the field to the left for the catch and run. This is where they mark him out of bounds. Third down and 3. Handoff is stopped by the Gophers.
And it didn't look like that play was going to go anywhere. Our interior defensive lineman had that play pretty well stopped.
I'm not quite sure what the play call idea was there from Buffalo. They're keeping their offense out on the field here. 7:50 left.
I think this move is in response to how has been throughout the game, they haven't had too many opportunities on the Gophers side of the 50. So
Fourth down and 2, Roberson, handoff. It's going to be close. It was given to Henderson. Referees are going to give it to him. The Gopher defense is not able to get off the field. First down, Buffalo. Henderson just powering his way up. Very well blocked by that offensive line. Don't think a Gopher touched it before 1 yard to go. Once again, another first down for Buffalo. 7 minutes left in this third quarter here at Huntington Bank Stadium. Buffalo marching down the field. Once again, that triple stack T formation. Roberson wants to take a shot to the outside. He's got a man open, and it's Snow for the touchdown. Buffalo, the first time they've even showed a wink of going deep, converts.
Yeah, there was a blown coverage in the backside of our secondary there, and that's what allowed that play to develop. And the ball was slightly underthrown, actually. The wide receiver had to almost stop dead in his tracks around the 2-yard line to even make that catch.
Saquon Bryant out there on the coverage. Not sure why he was out there as opposed to the safeties. One blown coverage, and we have once again a 4-point game. Looking to make it a 3-point game as Howes. Snap, hold, kick is up, and good. Buffalo touchdown, 40-yard pass to Victor Snow from Taquan Roberson. 9 plays, 75 yards, taking up just under 5 minutes. That's really what I've been talking about, Philip. It's those little small chunk plays that just take a lot out of you as a defense. And Buffalo with the element of surprise. Not even I expected that. Going for it all in the corner there for Victor Snow. His first catch of the game. Oh, it wasn't a big one.
Well, when you set up the play-action pass with your good run game, you're able to pull surprises like that on the defense because they're not expecting a deep pass. They're expecting you to run the football.
Well, the Minnesota defense is caught napping. We have, once again, a one-possession game. We'll see how the Gopher offense responds as the Gophers get the ball right after we return. You are listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Radio K Sports here in Minneapolis. A little Big Ten score update for you. Wisconsin having a struggle bus against Miami, Ohio. Just over a minute to go. The Badgers are up 3-0 at home. Nebraska down in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes in attendance, up 6-3 on Cincinnati. And Rutgers, they almost lost to Ohio University, 34-31. The Scarlet Knights pulled it out.
You might need to give me a blanket and pillow for that Wisconsin game.
Couldn't have said it better myself as Howes kicks it off. Harris will let it go into the end zone for a touchback. So far this, dare I say, middle of the pack Big Ten squad that's up here on Thursday, all having struggles in their first game. Of course, a lot of them showing very, very, very different teams as opposed to last year. Rutgers, of course, losing their main running threats. Still able to put up 34 points, though. Wisconsin in their new quarterback transfer, Billy Edwards Jr. from Maryland. Not starting off so hot there in Madison. Dylan Raiola doing just fine, but nothing better than that down there at Arrowhead. As Drake Lindsey takes first pass. Looks like it's going to be caught down there on the left side, coming up on the ground by the tag end, Drew Biber. Very good catch for the fifth-year tight end from Cedarburg, Wisconsin.
Well, and Lindsey's going to start to feel a little more pressure now as we get later here in the second half. The game's getting closer and closer between the Gophers and Buffalo here. So I'm sure PJ Fleck's probably going to start to call some more hurry-up offense.
Here is Taylor breaking through for a very, very good game there. 12 yards on the attack on 2nd and 1. Gopher first down. Love to see the Gophers just chip away at this Buffalo defense and able to give Minnesota's own defense a good break after that very long drive capped off by the 40-yard touchdown by Snow. I'd like to see Lindsey get comfortable, but really what you need is you need the Gophers to convert into the end zone, something that they've struggled with not just this year, not just last year, but really over their entire history as a football program. Lindsey under center, Taylor in the backfield. Short little pass intended for Jamison Gears on the left side. Right in the breadbasket, but can't haul it in.
It looked like that was some half-baked screen plan for that play, but clearly that didn't work because not only did the wide receiver in front of Gears not block very well, but Gears ended up dropping the ball. So it may have been a blessing in disguise that he did drop it because he wasn't going anywhere.
Minnesota offense forgot the yeast in that bread, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Lindsey once again under center. There is Taylor in the backfield. Motion by Jamison Gears. Lindsey changing the play, communicating to his team. They'll take the snap, hand off to Taylor to the left. Good amount of room to run. He'll get just past the 50 before getting taken down by 4 Bulls. A gain of about 4 or 5.
Taylor with a 4-yard carry.
4-yard gain. 3rd and 6 for the Gophers.
Normally when I hear somebody got taken down by 4 Bulls, I think they'd have to go to the hospital. But in this case, we're watching a football game.
Bulls, of course, mascot of not only the University of Buffalo, but also the University of South Florida, who played earlier today. They try and give a score update on that game at some time later as they took on number 25 Boise State. Back to this game. Drake Lindsey looking back to pass. Incomplete, intended for Jalen Smith. I don't know if you can hear the crowd. It's not very loud in here. Energy has gone quite stagnant since that Buffalo touchdown.
I don't blame him.
Just short on that throw. Really didn't give his receiver a chance, and the Gophers will have to punt. For the second time out today, Tom Weston from Fremantle, Australia.
Aussie.
Punt is up. Signaling for the fair catch is Gathings at about the 12-yard line. Excuse me, that is Victor Snow on the return. we've got a close one here. Not what I was expecting, but we've got a 3-point game here with just over 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Minnesota 13, Buffalo 11. It'll be Bulls ball when we return. This is Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Minneapolis, Bank Stadium. Buffalo with the ball at the 12-yard line of their own. Buffalo been able to move the ball very efficiently here in this second half as Robertson hands off to Henderson. He'll get about 1 yard maybe before he's swallowed up by Kerry Brown. That's all.
Well, you could tell the Gophers were calling a safety blitz on that play.
Worked out just fine as he opted to hand off. Really, a lot of it goes back down to that first drive that Buffalo had where they tried to do those pocket passes. Anthony Smith, I believe, got a sack, and Evan Eastern with a second one. They've opted for a quick lightning offense since. Then another handoff stuffed. Absolutely stuffed by Maverick Baranowski. Number 16, Sean Lawrence, also in there on the tackle.
I know Buffalo is backed up in their own zone right now, but I'm kind of surprised they're calling these slower plays, considering the fact that they scored a touchdown on all of their short plays.
Huge third down here for the Gophers to try and get their offense back out on the field here. 3:22 and counting left in this third quarter. Third down and 10.
This is a key stop. They need it.
3 wide receivers right. He's going to hold on to it. It's complete over the middle. It's going to be 3 yards short. It was Devin Williams applying a huge hit to Roberson as he let him fly. It is complete. Over the middle to Josiah Gathings. It's his 4th catch of the day. I've been calling his name and Victor Snow incorrectly all game. The numbers 8 and 0 look very similar from up here on those blue letters, excuse me.
Victor gives you chills.
Yeah, that was Victor Snow on the catch. flags fly on the field before the punt on 4th and 4.
We hope that's on Buffalo, because otherwise that would give Buffalo first down if it's on the Gophers.
And Coy Parrish was calling from it all the way over on the return. There's a ref right next to him. He was calling for it right away. It'll be 4th and 9. Just going to back up the punt a little bit more. The end zone for Buffalo.
I'm looking for a key return here by Coy Parrish. We could use some good field position. Give Lindsay a little bit of confidence going into this next drive, and hopefully we can end that drive with a touchdown.
Drake Lindsay now 15 for 29 passing with 199 pass yards. So certainly from a statistics standpoint, it looks like he's having a decent game. Coy Parrish runs in and fair catches it at the 28-yard line of Minnesota. That's where the Gophers will take over. Short field to go here for Minnesota. We'll be right back after the break. Minnesota 13, Buffalo 10. You're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back inside Huntington Bank Stadium. Gophers are set to take over at the 48-yard line for their next offensive possession. Lindsay out of the shotgun, Taylor to his left. Two receivers to the left. Lindsay set to pass, and drop by Jameson Gears over the middle. I was ready for a big play there. That's his second drop in a row.
I mean, you just hate to see that from your offense, especially with a young quarterback. The quarterback makes an accurate throw, and then the receiver just does not make the catch. You gotta have those catches. You can't. That's inexcusable. You should not be having drops like that over the middle, especially when the quarterback throws it right in your breadbasket.
Yeah, Lindsay with a great job escaping the pressure and letting that ball out right before the line of scrimmage as he's under center. And off to Darius Taylor trying to get outside. We get just past the 50. It's going to be 3rd and long. 3rd and 7 coming up for Minnesota. I feel like this is one of them half to half. Minnesota becoming stagnant here. Need to find something positive.
You'd like to just focus on getting the first down, but at some point, when do you consider taking a shot down the field?
Not on 3rd and 6, I would imagine. Not with a 3-point lead. Can't risk that.
True.
Lindsey once again out of the shotgun. Motion coming down from Loya. Lindsey in the pocket. Fires a throw to Jalen Smith. They finally connect. Very good throw by Drake Lindsey. Gets him just over 200 yards.
Lindsey did a great job finding the hole in that zone scheme, although there does seem to be a flag on the field, so I'm wondering what this is for.
Flag is thrown right in the direction of where the ball was caught. Referee's ready to tell us what it is.
There is no flag on the field. That's another goal.
There is no flag on the play. That's my favorite flag. It stands as a 16-yard catch by Jalen Smith. Well done by Drake Lindsey. Now over 200 yards passing, which is what you like to see in a debut. Pushed across by the tight end. Lindsey looking to pass, escaping some pressure. He'll dive very funnily to the 30-yard line, looking like Ben Roethlisberger out there.
Tripped up over his own feet there a little bit. You'll see that from time to time with young QBs. They tend to have their body leaning a little too far forward, and that's what caused him to fall forward and land almost on his face.
It works just about as low as a slide as he was about to get hit there by Matthew Hilton. That's not a guy who I'd want to get hit with. As the clock strikes 0 in the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th quarter, Minnesota 13, Buffalo 10. We'll be right back with some 4th quarter action. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Video Sports. inside Huntington Bank Stadium. We are about to get ready to start the fourth quarter. Back at the third quarter, the scoring recap. Minnesota started off with a very strong drive of 59 yards, and with a 29-yard field goal. Buffalo with an immediate response, a long drive, 75 yards, ending in a 40-yard touchdown by Victor Snow, having himself one heck of a day. 5 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota threatening here. Drake Lindsey is now over 200 passing yards for the first time in his career. Stats for this game so far looking at 16 for 31 for 215 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Quarterback rating of 114.1. Darius Taylor just about at that 100-yard mark. 16 carries, 91 yards. Jamison Gears still the leading receiver with 4. Excuse me, I am mistaken. Jamison Gear with the most number of catches for 38. Javon Tracy with 3 catches for 71 yards. Oh, he has had 2 straight drops on his last 2 targets, only connecting on half of the targets to him. Minnesota back on offense. Drake Lindsey here on 2nd down and 8 for that diving attempt. He'll step back in the pocket looking to throw. First read isn't there. He'll take the check down to Darius Taylor, who's going to get up to the 30. Avoid a tackle, break the tackle, and almost get to the first down.
What a play.
That is our running back.
That's
Darius Taylor with a heck of a play, shedding the tackle. Had almost wrapped up, but he got his arm in there and was able to throw him off of him. Good play by the strong junior running back.
He not only threw the guy off him, but he had his arms wrapped around his legs and he kind of jumped out of the tackle there.
That's the kind of stuff we see out of a running back when he gets those check down opportunities, something that we've seen out of Aaron Jones, both in the Vikings uniform and unfortunately in a Packers uniform.
We don't talk about the Packers.
Lindsey from under center, hands to Taylor. Big gap. It's about 5 or 6 yards, maybe 7 on first down. Gophers have entered the red zone once again.
3 yards to go.
Philip, one of the biggest things I need to see here is a touchdown. Minnesota
Yes,
has reached
absolutely.
the red zone 4 times now, has converted 1 time. That is not what we want to see. 2 field goals, 1 really wacky interception.
A field goal here isn't going to cut it because that's still a 1-possession game, and now in the fourth quarter, you really don't want to be that close with a school like Buffalo.
And off to Taylor, off to the left side, cuts through a couple defenders, and it's another goal to go for first down. Out at the 12-yard line. PJ Fleck electing to be perfectly content with this run game, and Darius Taylor, who's now over 100 yards, 18 carries, 102 yards, averaging 5.7 yards per carry, which will work just fine in college football. Gopher offense in need of a very, very big spark. Student section getting ready to erupt. Lindsey under center. They bring Cam Davis in as the running back. They're going to hand to him. He's going to get 1, maybe 2 yards in there, down to the 10.
Ball carrier for the Gophers, 2 yard gain on the play.
Cam Davis, Washington transfer, 1 year left eligibility. Subbed in there for 1 play.
Looks like Darius Taylor's coming right back out.
Just need a quick breather there. They elect not to bring the Marshall transfer back in. Go with the Washington transfer instead. Darius Taylor back in. Lindsey lining up out of the shotgun. 2 tight ends to the left, 1 receiver to the right.
I would suspect we're going to see quite a few run plays on this ending part of the drive towards getting inside the 5-yard line here just to take the pressure off of Lindsey just a bit.
Third down, 5 yards to go.
It's going to be a 3-yard carry for Darius Taylor, leaving 3rd and 5 from the 8 for Minnesota. This is where the Gophers have struggled. 3rd and mid distances. They either go for too much or too little.
Well, if I were to advise PJ Fleck here on this drive, even if you don't get in the end zone on this play, I would go for it on 4th down.
Jalen Smith cutting across the middle. Lindsey looking for him back in the end zone, and oh, it looks like this one's going to be out of bounds. It's a perfectly drawn play, but Jalen Smith just ran it just too far, drifted out of bounds, and wasn't able to get back in. Oh, just missed it. Half his foot was in, half of it was out.
Unfortunate, because it was the right throw and the right play, just a little too far.
I saw him in the motion right away before the snap came off. Knew they were going to go to him, but just too far, ran out of real estate. That's one that's not going to make PJ Fleck happy.
And it looks like they are electing to go for a field goal.
Field goal attempt here. 25-yard chip shot is good.
25-yard field goal is good.
Dendenberg now 3 for 3. Field goals. Once again, not what the Gophers wanted here. The points are points. 16 to 10. 11:31 remaining. Here in the second half and the fourth quarter. Minnesota up by 6. We'll take a quick break here. You're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Huntington Bank Stadium. The Gophers kick it off. Yet another touchback. Eddie Denneberg with that huge leg, the transfer from Syracuse, doing just fine on his debut, 3 for 3 from the field goals. 11:31 left in this one. Philip, what do you think that this Gopher defense needs to do here?
They need to shut down the Buffalo run game. That's been killing them since the middle of the second quarter. And really, to do that, their linebackers are going to need to come a little closer to the line of scrimmage, which means the safeties and corners needs to be extra sharp on pass plays.
Overson out of the pocket, looking deep. He wants Athings. Very good play by Zaquan Bryan.
Great coverage
PJ
there.
Fleck hyping him up on the sideline.
He stuck to that wide receiver like glue. He never held on too long. He looked back for the ball. Did everything you're supposed to on a play like that.
Lions would have got returned on that play earlier from the touchdown. Good to see him back, ready for another one. Not taken by surprise this time. Buffalo still with that T formation. Roberson out to the outside, looking for Snow. Incomplete, in and out of his hands. Throw may have been just a bit high. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Coverage on the outside by Aiden Gowsby. Big 3rd down for the Gopher defense yet again here. Nearly going to the 4th quarter. 11:21 remaining. Gophers need to look for those choppy little yard after catch intended plays from Buffalo.
I would look for a blitz here.
Roberson getting back. Gopher blitz does come, and he's hit as he throws. Ball is up in the air. Looks like it was batted down, almost caught. It was a heck of a concentration play by Shelton over there, the running back. But it'll be incomplete and 4th down. Excellent defensive sequence by the Gophers, as I believe it was Jalen Logan Redding who got the hit on the quarterback. May have been Devin Williams.
Well, and just as I said, I was looking for a blitz there, and they brought linebacker blitz on both the A and B gaps there.
Correction was Devin Williams on the quarterback hit. The punt is up and away towards Coy Parrish, backing up back beyond the 15. He's going to return this one for the first time tonight. Makes a good move. Gets about 20 yards on the return on what could have been something that he got smelled up on right away. Coy Parrish is fired up. Fadeaway player.
Coy Parrish juked that guy out of his socks. He had no idea where Coy Parrish was going.
He's making Jonathan Capo look silly out there. Safety in on special teams. We will have Gophers back on offense when we return. 16-10 Minnesota. You're listening to Radio K Sports.